How's it going, guys? I'm Bo.
I'm JP.
And this is So Like You Know, the later show.
We had audio difficulties. Well, I
Audio
did.
difficulties. Because we're old men. We have trouble with computers now.
What is this technology?
So, hopefully we get some peeps in here. I know the show is a little bit late. Didn't miss anyone. Didn't go to bed already, being like, oh, Slick's not on tonight. Those fuckers. So, yes. But, anyways, alcohol. Movies, nerdy stuff. That's us. This is So Like You Know, the show for September 10th, 2020. We already had our first snow in Colorado, which is absolutely fantastic. It's the...
Not the first for Pikes Peak, though.
No, first one in the Springs. But this is the first time it snowed this early in Colorado Springs since 1962.
We had snow and fire in this state.
Yeah, fantastic. We're an interesting state altogether, that's for sure. Colorado's a state of mind. But yes, so glad you guys are joining us. But as you know, this is the podcast your mother warned you about. We do live shows Thursdays, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, right here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, all at SLYK Radio. So come on in, chat with us so we can say hi to you, because we love to hear your lovely, lovely visual clicks. We can't hear anything. I'm special. But anyways, as you know, we always like to start out our show with the intro to the craft brew.
In review,
Mr. Pizzle, what are we drinking?
tonight we are drinking peanut butter milk stout nitro from Belching Beaver Brewery. It has a 5.3 ABV. And was yours taped up too? I
Yes.
noticed that. I was like, oh, mine is taped up. Electrical tape.
I learned that from last time.
And the description reads, this beer is refreshingly smooth tasting of roasted coffee, chocolate, and peanut butter. Brewed with rolled oats and lactose, this beer is a silky smooth mouthfeel finish. Don't let the color fool you. This dark beer is an easy drinker.
It's weird that it says brewed with lactose.
Yeah. You definitely know it's not meant for Hannah.
Yep, definitely. But this beer is also sent to us by the wonderful Liz. Thank you, madam. I'm very excited. And thank you too, Bradley. We highly appreciate it. Anytime we get any kind of these beers, they're absolutely wonderful. So, and this one sounds like it's going to be absolutely delicious, and I'm sure it will be. Because peanut butter stouts are always good. At least that's been my experience. And then the last Belching Beaver we had, I think it was a coffee stout, is also fantastic.
Yes.
So, yeah, already drank that one.
Tis very good.
Yeah, I'm happy. But anyways, so we'll give you guys our review at the end of the show, as per normal. But moving forward, I can barely talk right now. I've been having this
Yeah, I was trying to type and I was like, what am I doing with my hands right now?
I'm not working!
I was focused too much at work.
Yeah. It does happen. But that's a good thing, I believe. But anyways, so moving forward, we have our Slick feed.
Where we geek on your week.
Oh, right, I got it out. I feel so proud of myself. And we missed you too, Liz. We had some stuff to take care of, life and all that kind of fancy stuff. Brent says he loves Belching Beaver, as any awesome human being should. They're most delicious. So, and I'm sure this will be no exception by the time I'm done with it. But, so we're going to start out on quite the sad note. I'm sure you guys are well informed. If you're not, I hate to be the bearer of bad news right now, but Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther in the Marvel movie recently, just passed away at the age of 43 on August 28th. So, the whole of nerddom has really shown some wonderful colors at this event. We've seen all kinds of videos, that have been posted of his fantastic nature, you know, all the stuff that he's done for people, the stuff that he's done for, you know, helping the black community, helping children feel confident about themselves, just generally being a fantastic individual. So, and then on top of that, just being a wonderful actor who was a absolute badass Black Panther. So, this definitely came as a surprise to me. It was extremely sad. It should have been, I don't know, and it never really was talked about, that the fact that Disney approached him multiple times and he denied wanting to be in Black Panther 2, which I'm sure really confused them, because it doesn't seem like any of them really knew what was going to happen. So, and so, you know, after him saying, no, I don't want to do the 3-movie deal, it's more of like, I can't do the 3-movie deal. Because he's been fighting colon cancer since 2016. So, you know, this wasn't a surprise for him. It wasn't a surprise for his family. Fortunately, he did pass away with his family that evening. So, he wasn't alone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's...
But yeah, that just shows like how strong of a character he had himself. Just like we had Civil War, Black Panther, 12 Bridges. There were other ones where he was just a very like strong actor on the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I have to admit, I hadn't watched any of his other movies, and I did plan on it. Just now I'm definitely going to, because I need to understand more of his character, because I heavily appreciate his acting, I should say. So, extremely sad. Is a wonderful actor, a wonderful character to lose. So, but, I mean, I don't know. 2020 has just been real shitty. It just sucks, man. Liz says it's a testament to him and his family's circle that this was kept private. And it's true. And he seemed like a very personable guy from any of the interviews I've seen. I watched, Jimmy Fallon thing, where they kind of did like a fan thing where they were like...
What it meant to...
Yeah, what Black Panther and Chadwick meant to people coming in, and, you know, and he'd pop out from behind the curtains, and he seemed so chill. And, you know, they were all so happy, and it felt so genuine. So, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to keep repeating myself.
He played Jackie Robinson in 42.
Oh, nice. That's fantastic. Brent says, so The Five Bloods on Netflix, 42 on HBO Max. I recommend getting on it. All good. So, we definitely will. Definitely hope he rests in peace, but, you know, it at least it sounds like the Black Panther idea, concept, feeling, emotions isn't just going to die with him. So, I mean, Disney was and still is talking about Black Panther 2. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons that, you know, he was saying, no, I'm not going to do the second one. No, I'm not going to do the second one. Because he knows that people wanted more. But he knew, you know, that he wasn't going to be able to be involved with it. So,
his time was limited.
Yeah, so ultimately he's kind of driving the story, you know, with his own personal life. But, you know, we end up in the scenarios where, you know, we do have a possibility, a future. Shuri, who, you know, plays the younger one in the movie.
Sister.
Yeah. The younger badass in the movie is... so she takes up the helm of Black Panther in the comics. So it's already a previously existing thing. And that's one of the things I really also wanted to talk about. That... What the fuck? Go the fuck away, team viewer. I'm uninstalling you now. Put an ad in the middle of my shit. So she's, you know, it was a pre-existing character that's happened in the comics. So she can come in, take up the mantle a little sooner, and then I'm assuming even Disney was even considering. And I mean, Letitia Wright is also a fantastic actress. So, we're looking at still a fantastic, character development, drive for the story, and not to mention really still maintaining that level of, hopefully that level of amazing acting and quality that Chadwick Boseman had brought to the character. So, I I can't really say I'm excited because of how sad that is, but at least there's a future for the character, and it's not just getting dropped like that. So,
Yep.
And then with that, a little bit of odd news. Akon decided that he's going to put out for a 6. And I assume he's going to try to get some sponsoring for this, or maybe he's actually this rich. So Akon has announced a plan for a $6 billion actual Wakanda. And I don't really understand that one, but I still think that's a fantastic possibility because he's really trying to drive the smart city. Which, when you look at some of the concept stuffs he was talking about, it looks like he's going for Dubai, just not in the middle of a desert.
Did they say where they were planning
it's going
on
to be
building it?
in Senegal, I believe. Let me just verify that. Yes. So, it's going to be in Senegal. Senegal, Africa. Figure out where that is actually. It's one of those ones where I know the name, but I don't know where the heck it is.
Right, because Americans are bad at geography.
Yep, it's just north of Guinea. So it's a little bit south of the Sahara, west of Mali. So western coast of Africa, kind of the edge of that tropical zone. And yeah, so I mean it's crazy and super exciting, but wild, and I'm interested to see where this goes and kind of what comes of everything. So, but yeah, so let's move forward.
We can't. It's hard to segue out of that.
I know I don't really have a segue for this one. Just need to kind of try and move on. But we do want to give you fantastic news for the rest of this stuff, because we need to try to get some good stuff out of 2020 because this year has blown so bad.
Yes.
But so with all the gaming news coming out, if you guys have been craving Zelda, as you can see from behind JP, we are getting more Zelda games, which is very surprising. So considering basically it seems like every game that comes out nowadays, something leaks beforehand. Some trailer comes out 2 years in advance without, any kind of warning. Or sorry, any kind of warning. Like, so much pre-warning to any game that's arriving that it's almost uninteresting by the time a full trailer arrives.
Right.
But, so Zelda, Hyrule Warrior, Age of Calamity is going to be coming out November 20th. So, only, a month and a half away. Which is kind of amazing considering, like I said, generally in this era, if anything happens and it's not already been talked about, it's kind of surprising. But yeah, so this is going to be a prequel to Breath of the Wild, and it's going to be set 100 years prior to. So it should be really interesting. We're actually going to get, the Calamity Ganon, and we'll get to see the chaos and everything. We'll get to see that, this version of Hyrule before the shit hits the fan. So, do you play Zelda at all, JP?
Nope. I know that it's actually Link.
Yes. And as a nerd, that's really the true important thing you need to know. But yeah, so if you guys are excited for Zelda, that's coming up. So just be excited like the rest of us. So why? Oh, that's weird. Yeah. So cool, very exciting stuff coming forward. The Xbox for you guys out there who are Xbox fans, yeah, look at there. Behind JP's head, you can see the fans for the new Xbox that's coming out. Right now, his head is pointing at the Xbox X, and then the other side, that's the Xbox S. So
which is the bigger one? Is it this?
That's the X.
Okay.
So the X is going to be the stronger system. It's going to have, 12 teraflops of graphical processing. It's going to have a better fan unit, which is going to be needed for all that. As well, it's going to have the disk drive that you can see there on the side. Also, and that one's going to be $499.
Which
also,
is a lot lower, $100 lower than I thought it was going to be.
Yes. So, and which is very, very interesting. Something that kind of catches me about this photo and ones I've also seen is that there's only one USB port on the front. And it makes me worry that they're going to make you buy a stupid hub so you can charge multiple controllers at once.
Probably.
Which, I mean, already right now, I kind of wish all the current gen systems had more than 2 USB ports. That's incredibly frustrating when, I'm trying to play Call of Duty and I have a headset and I want to use keyboard and mouse, which now works on there. I couldn't without buying a hub, which is very frustrating. So, JP's over there looking at his is mine like that?
I think the original PS3 had 4, and then they went down to 2,
which is stupid.
I was just like, okay, take away stuff. That doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. I can't imagine they saved that much space on there. I've taken apart my PlayStation 4 to actually blow it out, because that's the only way to stop it from sounding like a jet engine. Because those things,
it still sounds like it, regardless of how many times
it doesn't get that bad anymore. Not like Derek's right now. It's like, whoa! It's so intense.
Whenever I play Red Dead Redemption 2, it's just it's a jet engine taking off. I'm just like, oh my god! If PS5 is more quiet,
yeah,
than this, I'd be happy to adopt it earlier than later.
And I would sure hope so. I mean, and that's the thing. That's one of the positive notes of increased graphics processing units. Because a lot of time they're figuring out how to get more with less heat. For example, right now I have a MSI 1050 Ti, which, shut up guys, I know it's kind of outdated. Leave me alone. They're expensive. But someday, when I can actually afford a new one, I'll probably get the 1070 or the 2070, or maybe even the 3070. Who knows? Maybe I'll win the lottery.
3070.
But the graphics unit on this, because of how it functions, as of right now, because I'm not playing any games on it, the fans aren't even on it. So, and I'm kind of hoping with the new systems, it'll be the same thing where they're so strong at kind of their base system is that they're not going to have to crank it like they do to keep up with the graphics processing. And the other thing too is with the Xbox specifically, they picked that design the way they did, which seems awkward and out of place because it made it a big,
space.
It made it a big air tube. Mm-hmm. So that top fan now it's a much larger, I think 120 millimeter fan. So it can move slower and still maintain the same amount of CFMs through the system. And the S, the smaller white one, looks like it also has the large fan, but lots of ingress for air. So, and that's kind of what I'm hoping with the PS5 is that it does the same thing, is that it's going to have a larger fan, so it's not going to have to crank up. If anyone's ever been in IT, or you've seen those shows where there's always a server in the background and it sounds like a little mini jet engine, it's because those server racks are this tall and they have the tiniest fans. They have to spin at 5 times the normal speed to try to keep up with the
to get that airflow.
Yep. So, and that's the big thing is on my tower is I have a large exit fan on the top, so it doesn't have to spin very fast, but it just keeps the air circulating so that my shit doesn't overheat. Honestly, I really wish they'd just start moving all this shit over to water cooling, because it just makes more sense at this point. Just keep adding aluminum blades to it. Eventually, it'll get cooler. Yeah. I love water cooling. Everyone who has a gaming computer, you should just go to water cooling and give up on those stupid bullshit regular fans. They don't work as well.
No, they don't. Plus, there's less cleaning involved with that.
Yeah. So just better. Get the fully enclosed ones. Anyways, so where are we sitting at? Oh yeah, so we're looking at that. So the S is going to be $299. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be just the cheaper system. It's still going to be a good system, but it is going to have less processing power. So it's going to have I don't think it's going to be able to put out true 4K at 60 FPS, but it's going to still have the ray tracing. So you'll still get that absolutely beautiful looking game. Just
at 30.
Yeah, it's lower frame rates. So it's definitely going to have an effect, but you'll still be able to get that next gen system and it's a little more budget friendly, which is completely understandable.
It is way budget friendly at $300.
Yes. So
that's how some of these like new consoles are selling for right now.
Yep.
These PS4s and Xbox X's.
Exactly. So just be wary of that. If you guys are trying to, get the more budget friendly system but want to stay next gen, move with that guy. But if you have the cash, and do understand you are paying for a better, optical video quality, you're going to have to go with that, the upgraded system. It makes me interested to think if the PS5 understands and knows what they're doing, so they're going to do a similar thing. Because some stuff on these two systems was a co-op between PlayStation and Microsoft. Yeah. So I don't know at what point they, separated completely and stopped telling each other what's going on. They're just like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, that's what you're doing. Cool. We're going to balance this out a little bit. So, I mean, we'll see. But a lot of power is coming out soon. But this one's going to be released November 10th with pre-orders available September 22nd. So 12 more days, y'all be able to pick that up.
I have a feeling like PlayStation might just... It was like, oh, it came out at $499. This is going to be $498, Bob?
It'll be $449.
Maybe. I could totally see Sony doing that.
Yeah. PlayStation notably and regularly loses money on their consoles. So I wouldn't be surprised.
But they've won like every console war though.
I wouldn't say that. I think the PS3 was a complete and total failure versus
it outsold. In the end, it outsold it.
That's fair, but it's still a failure because it sucked. It's the only time I bought an Xbox ever. It was because I thought the PS3 was so lame. But then again, that's me. And wait, did it outsell or were they just not reporting numbers?
No, it outsold it at the end.
Xbox 360 sales versus PS3. Sold. It outsold it by 2,000 units.
Still did it. Even though they charged like what $600 for it originally, which was a crazy misstep for the PS3.
I thought the PS3 was so ungodly ugly that I had no interest in even displaying that in my home.
Honestly, I didn't care what it looked like.
I do only because it's going to be part of my media center, right? So for me, it's a mantelpiece, so it needs to look good as it runs. So for me, it's important. Hence, you've seen my cases. I always put. It could just sit on a cardboard box. That would be efficient for that. But I spend the money, so I got the cool ass case because that's me. But yeah, so excited for that. Where I guess I'm sure we're gonna be getting the PlayStation 5 stuff soon, or they're just gonna hang on till the very bitter end.
It has to be, because they were cutting it real close to the.
Yeah, it'd be funny. Like, it's coming out November 11th. What day? It's November 10th. Shit. So, we'll see. Yeah, so moving forward, speaking of gaming and all kinds of that awesome stuff, GeForce already released their new series. Holy guacamole. Look at
Like
that.
consoles are like a snapshot of technology, and this thing just like blew it out of the water. It's like
Yes.
we're gonna have ray tracing. Well, this is gonna have like future ray tracing. What does that even mean?
Yep, exactly.
And
So,
the specs would probably mean more to you than they do to me. They're just a whole bunch of numbers for me that just keep increasing.
so comparatively, we're getting the GeForce 370, 80, and 90. The 370 is going to have 5,888 CUDA cores, which is amazing considering the 1070.
It blows it out of the water. It's not even comparison.
Well, I think it's 2,500, or sorry, 1,900. So, yeah, literally, 4 times stronger than the, two series ago, which isn't even that old. The GeForce, the 3080 is going to have 8,700 CUDA cores. And the 3090, which is a beast mode, is going to have 10,496.
That thing is like wouldn't even fit into like most PC.
That is bigger than
It's massive.
that's bigger than most form factor computers nowadays.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. They were streaming 8K at like 60 FPS with that mother.
It's
I'm like,
amazing.
what is streaming 8K now?
Yeah, wild. I mean, so and the other thing too is you're looking at respectively 8 gigs of GDDR6. So we're already at 6. 10 gigs GDDR6X, and then 24 gigs of GDDRX. So significantly stronger cards by magnitudes. So I can't even fathom what that would look like. Not to mention, the simple fact that I don't know anyone in the U.S. that has an 8K right now, anyways.
No.
So,
But I mean, you're if you get one of these, you're definitely future proofing your rig.
oh, undoubtedly, absolutely, undoubtedly. Now, I don't know what the power requirements are going to be for this, and I'm sure it's going to be something amazing, and it's going to need a minimum power supply, because the PSUs nowadays that come kind of standard are kind of they start at 400s, and you may be looking at upgrading your power supply unit as well to try to keep up with this system. So yeah, and don't be surprised if your old case does not fit it, because holy crap, look at the size of that thing.
I think it fit the 370 in mine.
I could fit the 3090 in my PC, but I couldn't fit that
out
in my wallet.
Yes, because the prices of them are ridiculous.
I very preemptively bought a very modular case, thinking that those cards were going to get absurd, and I'm glad I did. The whole right side where all the bays are, I can pull them out if I want to, because who the hell needs two disk drives and 4 freaking hard drives anymore? No one. The answer is no one. I do need an upgraded board, though. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Balls.
But as the pricing for the 3070, it's going to be priced at $499, available this October. The 3080 is $699, available September 17th. And the 3090 is going to be a whopping $1499, available
So if
September 24th.
Everyone wants to get together and buy me a 3080 for my birthday.
Birthdays.
Yeah, the next 3 birthdays.
That's insane.
It is. That is
But
absolutely
did you see
nuts.
their tech demo though that they put out?
I did, but
The
I don't have
trailer.
anything cool enough to actually show me what
I
it's
was
going to
like-
look
I
like.
was like, this is 4K is the best I can do. Like,
Ugh.
I was
I
like,
can't even do 4K on my computer, so I mean, I would. I do not have the processing power. That's one of those things. I've been seeing all these memes come through. I was like, next gen consoles blowing everything out, and then like, no, Nvidia blows this away, and I'm like, not really, because no one can afford that.
some people can.
Yeah, but can they really? Like, how many people can thoroughly afford that also are interested in a console?
How much are 8K TVs going for?
Yeah. So it's one of those things like, I'm still rocking a DDR3 motherboard on an i5 Haswell.
Me too.
Exactly. So I was like, and I'm honestly, I haven't maxed it out yet. It's still a very strong CPU, but
I thought DDR5s are close to.
they are. They keep teasing it.
Okay, an 8K Samsung 65-inch is $2,799.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's Samsung. I mean, where's the Sony's?
So
I know Sony's is probably the most expensive out of the brands. Oh.
how much is it?
Okay, this is a 75-inch Sony at 8K for $6,000.
Whew. Damn. Yeah. No, not worth it. No, thank you.
Best Buy has a 98-inch. Guess how much that costs? It's an 8K.
I'm gonna make a guess at like 10 grand.
$60,000.
Holy shit! I so did not. Wow.
Holy shit.
That should not exist. Also, are you not getting comments anymore? Because I'm not either.
I don't think anyone has commented.
All right, we bummed everyone out with Chadwick, and no one is listening anymore. That's fair. Oh, there's
My
one.
sister says, wait for the Vizio version.
I just want to make sure we didn't lose our feed. Yeah, the Vizio version of the 8K is going to be. It'll be $135.
Or the TCL versions.
TCL, they're just going to give them away for free.
Yeah. That's insane. That's so much money.
Yeah, it's...
I was just like, oh yeah, 8,000 for 85-inch, okay. And then I was just like, what?
That is such a yeah, Liz says that's a room edition.
Yeah.
I could
That's a wall.
I could
like,
legit
It's like, why does your wall look weird? Look at this. And then you're just like,
I could add a whole nother 2.5 rooms to my house for less money than that if I did it myself. Holy crap.
literally, that is like, as a decent down payment on a house.
On a car.
On a car, you can
JP,
buy
what kind of
car
cars are you
several
buying?
Got Veyrons?
So, speaking of the DDR5s, they came out July, and that's what I thought, but they're not available to the public yet, even though they said they were supposed to be available like 2 months ago. So, yeah. Something tells me it's not going to be a huge jump anyway. It's like going between the current gen processors and the generation before that, not counting like the Ryzen jump, I don't know if the jumps are going to be that big, and that's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm really want to find out. So it's kind of one of the reasons I haven't wanted to upgrade my system, because I haven't needed to, because everything except my video card doesn't really get maxed out yet. So we'll see. Liz says, want to hear something OG? My VCR DVD combo still works before I donated the thing. My wife's parents still had theirs as well, and they were rocking it for the longest time. They still had, I came up a few times and they played home movies for me. So that still worked. Absolutely amazing. I think any home movies that might exist of me are probably packed away and dusty in some box because I don't think my parents have owned a VCR in 15 years.
It's Betamax.
Beta! So, yeah. Yes. Prince of Persia. You can have this one because I haven't played it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Prince of Persia was released in the Ubisoft Forward. So it's just like the next one that they did before the end of the year. They were saying that it's going to be the remake is going to be a HD rendition of it. And it's kind of had the predecessor to Assassin's Creed. That's what they wanted. Like I was like, what if we did a open world like a Prince of Persia, and like that slowly evolved into the first Assassin's Creed. So it's gonna be. Have you played the BioShock remastered trilogy?
And that
looks amazing.
That was my reference point. I was watching the trailer for Prince of Persia, which I've watched gameplay on it, and I know what it is and generally what's it about. But just watching that trailer, and I was like, this looks the same quality as those BioShock remasters.
Yeah. So it's you're a prince who controls the sands of times that can move forward, slow down, stop time depending on what you're doing. And there's a lot of parkour elements. So it's like it's Assassin's Creed with magic, but Assassin's Creed does have magic in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's scheduled to be coming out really soon, January 21st, 2021.
Yep.
So we went knowing nothing about it, that it was maybe in the works to like coming out next year, beginning of next year.
Guys!
In the launch window. So I heard people talking about this today. So when a game is released in the launch window, how much time is the launch window for new consoles? Is it 3 months, 6 months?
I would say 3 months as far as like feeling like you got a console for a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's I'm inclined to agree with that.
Yeah, so
6 months is pushing it.
Yep. I mean, because a lot of those games
but
yeah, and you get those console release games, but a lot of people end up sticking to a system because of a certain series of games that are coming out. It's like I'm getting the PlayStation, right, because I'm assuming a God of War is going to come out. People buy Xbox because they want more Halo. So, which is, that's their thing. I understand. Halo's fun.
You can wait on it.
And you can buy it on PC.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really is. No, you can wait on it. Eventually you'll get it all. But, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say about 3 months. You're spot on for that one. It's just, anything after that, people probably already have their system, so it's not really worth focusing on it coming out on one system or another.
I mean, if it can play your older games better, I'm waiting to see what VR is going to look like. Because VR on the PlayStation, it is passable, but it could be better compared to like the Quest and Oculus and the other ones. MWR headset?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know enough about the VRs in all fairness, just because I haven't had an interest until like the last 4 months when Brian built up his.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our buddies built up a VR specific computer system, and he's been loving it. It was actually the first time I got to play the Saber music battle.
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, and that was interesting. I mean, it looked so much better, especially with the higher frame rates. It made a big freaking difference. So, but yes, so good stuff. But all kinds of cool games are coming out, that's for sure. Make sure you're still logging into Grand Theft Auto. That way you guys do not miss out. Oh, something we could have talked about, forgot. Chris was telling me about it. If you guys remember Chris, he's the old host. That G4 TV's coming back with Olivia Munn. Yeah.
Woo!
Fantastic. Anyone who's a nerd knows what that is. So
I hope they bring back Adam Sessler.
yes.
I don't know like what type of falling out he had with G4, but he left like pretty abruptly, and I was just like, oh man, this is like, it was so good to actually have like tune into like a gaming TV show that was, it covered everything.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, look forward to that one. Last bit of news, craziness, Jelly Belly.
Oh wait.
Jelly Belly now on The Walking Dead. How did they kill all the walkers?
Flavors.
Jelly Bellies. They're
Jelly
so
Bellies
sweet. They brought them back to life. So Jelly Belly founder is hosting an online treasure hunt. What?
It's like Willy Wonka.
Yes, exactly. So similar. So it costs $50, but with that 50, you get a state-specific riddle, and with that state-specific riddle, you can solve that and get an answer that will help you get. And I think it's going to be a few overall. It was kind of generic, but ultimately, you're kind of reaching towards the golden ticket. And each state has a maximum maximum amount of players at 1,000. Yes.
Yeah, but I thought if you did find it, you get $5,000 and then automatically
entered
put into for like a drawing, or is it another riddle game that you're gonna have to do?
I don't know. I think this one's gonna be one of those. It's kind of like we're gonna get information as it comes out. But either way, I'm excited to hear what happens with this one. But if you guys are interested in owning your own Jelly Belly factory, definitely do this. Especially if you have an interest in owning a Jelly Belly factory in Florida. The fact that it's in Florida makes me not want to do it. But
Sell. We're relocating to Colorado.
We're moving to a state that's not. Wow, what's happening here? So, yeah. But that's pretty interesting, pretty crazy. If you guys are want to check that out, just go to the Jelly Belly website. There is a link to it on there. But madness, and I think that's pretty cool. Companies should do this more often. I mean, who's going to be more devoted than someone who's willing to dump way too much money into figuring out riddles to try to win a factory and to, take care of the lovely Oompa Loompas the way that he would. So, because you got to get them young so that you can wash their minds of any other emotions that they might have gained as an adult. That's really what it's about.
Right.
So, but yeah. So, cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, you guys should make sure you check out one of our slick content providers. That's Shell with Shell Shock Cosplay. We can see her awesome cosplays and direct yourself over to her band of warriors, the Knights of the Tempest, for a sword-tastic equestrian theater. Most interesting. They're a Colorado-based jousting troupe that puts on shows multiple times a year. They are doing their practicing. They're being COVID safe. But we are hopefully going to be getting some new shows from them end of the year, if not looking into next year. But once all this COVIDian chaos slows down, we'll get the good stuff, and that'll be really awesome. But make sure you follow him on Facebook and Instagram at Knights of the Tempest, or on Twitter at Knights Tempest. All the good stuff, all the good times.
Woo.
Speaking of good stuff, we're good stuff over here at Slick. Yeah. We do live shows Thursday, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. So you can come here and chat with us, talk with us. And in the meantime, you can head over to our Facebook where we post all kinds of random things throughout the week. Because that's how we do. And yeah, so make sure you go over to our Facebook, our Twitch, and our YouTube, all at SLYK Radio, and enjoy the joy. Liz says, in reference to Jelly Bellies, I feel like if you win the contest, then you inherit its deep, dark secrets. Like the secret ingredient or children's hopes and dreams. Nice.
Jelly Belly is people.
That's kind of where I thought that sentence was going. So, yeah. I meant to talk about this, and I really wanted people to know. So, I talk about this like every year. The Telluride Horror Show. It's one of my absolute favorite conventions of all freaking time.
Shared it already.
It's so good.
I shared it.
Doesn't matter. I need to talk about it in real life. So it's normally a horror festival they put on for a weekend. Telluride happens in October. They do 20 plus movies, a whole bunch of shorts, a lot of fantastic shows. So if you guys are big fans of horror, I really do advise you guys check them out at the Telluride Horror Film Festival. What's really cool about this year is that, at the same time also incredibly sad, is that they're doing a shelter-in-place horror film festival. So, like I said, normally you go to Telluride to get to check out all this really awesome stuff, but they're doing the shelter-in-place, so it's going to be less expensive. You don't get to go to Telluride, but you still get to experience all the fantastic, really cool shows they have. So, lots of excellent movies. Normally every year they have really fantastic guests. I don't know if they're going to be doing any guests. They may do some, live stream stuff with them. But all of the shelter in place stuff is going to be a live stream of those horror stuff. Thank you, sir. And that is an absolute beautiful venue for that. But yeah, so everyone should check out the horror show if you guys are big fans of that. Liz, yes, this kind of con should be everywhere. But I think you're closer. I think you can actually check out. Where is that? Horror. Where is
The horror.
The horror. The horror. I know there's one out east that they do like a cool horror festival. I'll have to look it up. But yes, so it's absolutely fantastic. They do, like I said, 20 plus movies. They do the short segments. They're usually between 5 and 8 short films, which are absolutely fantastic. But me and Hannah are massive fans of horror, so we did the Mile High Horror Film Festival for a long time until we ended up finding out about the Telluride Horror Film Festival. And then once we found this one, it was just fantastic. But as well, there is the Mile High Horror Film Festival. I would advise doing one or the other unless you want to rewatch some of the same movies. Not all of the same. It might give you the opportunity. What you can do with some of these festivals is do like the whole of one and then still check out like another one. But something's cool like these, like the horror show, the Telluride Horror Show, as well as the Mile High Horror Show, is that you can still go see independent movies by themselves without having to pay for the full pass. But yes, Liz says, how intriguing. Maybe I'll gift that to Brad for his birthday. The gift that keeps on giving. Yes. And if you guys do check it out, I advise whatever is playing, whatever you think is cool, it's not going to be as good as the horror shorts. Only because most of the mainstream stuff, you'll get to see it later. The horror shorts, so one of my favorites is from a... Oh shit, hold on. I'll look this up. It's from a director... Oh, I need to find it. It's gonna be so fantastic. Doo-ba-doo-wop-doo, that's the porn folder. Smile Charles. Nope. Shoot. I shared it on the Slick page a while back. And it was a drawing room. Damn it. Either way, there was a short that was on there was about a witch. And it took me 3.5 years of asking the director to finally put it on something for it to get put somewhere. It was so challenging. And it was one of our favorites, so it was worth it. But it was one of those horror shorts you just don't get to see any other point of time. And they really hold them out for a lot of the film festivals. So, yeah. Either way, check it out. I've been talking about that for a long time because I love horror films. They're wonderful. Yeah.
Did you say horror shorts?
Horror shorts.
That's what I heard.
Oh, JP, that's cheeky. um, distracting. Anyways, what were we talking about? Close that window. No. Oh, look, yeah, we're in. All right, cool. Slick tube. Oh, can't say that right next to a butt. So, with some sadness, it has been confirmed that the Venture Brothers has been canceled. So, if you guys haven't paid or watched this show before, I do suggest it. It's a good one. It's based on the old Johnny Quest, and they do make a lot of jokes referencing it. But it is an amusing show. It's on Adult Swim. It has been. It's had a total of 7 seasons so far. They were working on the 8th, but they got canceled by Adult Swim.
They got shit canned.
They got shit canned. So, which is definitely sad. It's yeah, that bums me out. It's a good show. It's just one of those amusing ones you can kind of put in the background or totally sit down and watch right in front of your face. But there's a pinprick of light in the distance that has been hinted at by a few sources, not just one, that HBO Max might be picking it up.
I mean, why not? They're picking up a whole bunch of other things as well.
Exactly. And I think it has something to do with the fact that the HBO Max has like a Cartoon Network section on it. Let me verify that I'm not just talking out of my ass when I say that. HBO Max. Which you guys should check out HBO Max. It's been fantastic. Movies, channels, original. How do you get to the thing on the Cartoon Network collection? Yes.
Yeah.
So it could very well be getting picked up there and sent to the online streaming. So yeah. But yeah. So sad. Hopefully good. We'll see. Especially because if it's going to HBO Max, we're gonna get a little bit more absurd content. So it's really weird.
They can be uncensored.
Yes. Like I've been rewatching Robot Chicken on HBO Max, and it's weird hearing all of the bleeps not cut out.
That was part of the charm.
It kind of, yeah, but now that I'm like
gummy bear stepping to a bear trap.
Yeah, like they show that without the blinking. It's so much more brutal. So, but yeah, so check that out. Some absolutely fantastic news. This, for me, would be as great as not ever having to hear about the NFL crap anymore. Walking Dead is finally canceled.
Oh, I thought you were talking about other news. My bad.
But something about butts, that's fantastic news. So, yeah, Walking Dead is finally canceled. I have never had any interest in the show, even remotely. So I'm kind of happy that I don't really have to hear about it anymore. It's boring, and no one has any interest. So, yay! Now, if we could just... I could somehow just permanently block...
seasons is so long.
Yes,
for something to be on.
It is. If we just figure out how to permanently block NFL from my Facebook feed, that would be fantastic. So Liz,
now that you said it, it will permanently be there now.
I know I made the mistake of having my phone on while I'm talking. Damn it! Now I'm gonna log into Amazon next time. It's gonna be like, do you want to buy footballs? Football memorabilia? I like playing football. Don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoy doing that. Just NFL's stupid.
You wanna buy an ice bathtub? What does that even have to do with anything?
Yes. So, good shit. Anyways, moving forward. Dune! Yes! Awesome! Super cool! If you guys have been on the Facebook page, we shared the trailer. It looks so good.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Pain. So...
Okay.
So, the new Dune is coming out. It's going to get a December 18th, 2020 release. And I'm very excited for this. It definitely seems like they're updating for the new era. As my buddy Derek said, it does feel like it's losing kind of some of the acid trip feel of it. But in all fairness, it's a different era of movies, so I can kind of understand why, and he does too. So I think it's a smart move, but at the same time, I'm interested to see what they do with this, with the current technologies. Like, it's interesting watching in the trailer, when that,
Sandworm.
No, not the sandworm, the battle armor. Like the light optic battle armor they have on.
Oh, yeah.
So it actually is like form-fitting instead of looking like two Minecraft characters attacking each other.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm really interested and excited to see this updated version of it, as long as they don't touch the old one at all. We re-released it with upgraded graphics. Don't do that! It pissed everyone off with Star Wars. So, yeah, but Zendaya''s going to be in it. She was in Euphoria recently, which is another fantastic HBO show.
Spider-Man.
Yep, she was in Spider-Man as well. So, excellent actress. It's got Jason Momoa, John Batista. So, it's got some cool actors, some badass actors right now, some action guys. So I'm interested, excited, and very jazzed for this. Dune has been a big part of my life. So watched it all the way growing up, and then I'm ready to reread it. I haven't read it for so long, but it's sitting on my shelf right now. One of those sweet Barnes & Noble gold leaf edge page ones. Yeah, I'm jazzed for it. So
hopefully this sparks movie inspired video games.
Oh, yeah. I would totally be down for a freaking Dune video game. I want to ride a sandworm.
It would just be like StarCraft Ghost, except with Fremen.
Yes. So, yeah. So that would be good shit. I would be totally down for that. So Liz says, in reference to The Walking Dead, I love that show. Walking Dead gave you a window to the human condition when shit hits the fan, like year 2020. So, you're not wrong. But at the same time, you're not wrong one way or the other. That's not at the same time. You're not wrong at all. And the other thing, too, is that it's so reminiscent of daytime dramas, which I don't like at all either. It felt like poor acting and not really... And mind you, I only watched 6 episodes. That's all I could get into it, so I really want to be honest with that.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Less than 6 hours.
Yes. So, of that, I couldn't get into the acting. I couldn't get into the storyline. It really wasn't about the zombies, which I kind of am more about the zombies. That's why I like 28 Days Later and all that stuff. The zombie really is the focus.
Zombieland.
So, Zombieland.
Warm bodies.
The zombies really... I don't know. That's kind of a different one, that balance with it. But, that actually has fantastic acting in it. So, definitely more of the exception than the rule. So, I don't know. Liz says, I also love cosplaying as a walker, which, yes, but you can do that from any zombie thing or gender-bending Negan, which is that was a good scene. I don't know anything about the characters, really, except that was a good scene. I watched it because I wanted to see what everyone was up in arms about. Wow, our viewers went from 8 to 4. I shouldn't have said I don't like The Walking Dead. It's all right. Dropped down by 4. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, where are we at? Oh, Mulan. Good shit, man. Did you got to watch it already?
Yes, I got to watch it.
So what did you think?
I thought it was... They had enough nods to the original that I was happy about it, and then having to do more research into it why Dragon versus Phoenix and all this stuff, all these people trying to boycott it for weird reasons. I was like, it's a fucking remake, guys.
Yes. So.
But yeah, I did enjoy it, like all the swordplay and I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I probably will watch it again. I think it's like a mixture of like Mulan and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and a little bit of Kung Fu Hustle.
And the original story, which is cool about it. So, and I think a lot of people don't realize that Mulan was a real person. No, we won't. I won't spoil anything, Liz. It's still pretty new.
Mushu dies.
So, the cool thing about Mulan is that it's based all around the original legend as well as the cartoon. There's no singing, so just be ready for that. And then they do change a few things that is more prevalent and relevant to the actual story and the Chinese lore. So a lot of people are boycotting it right now for, like JP said, the stupidest reasons. Americans are bitching because it doesn't have Chinese subtitles. Dumb. China's boycotting it because one of the main actress actually supported the Hong Kong police, so they want to boycott the whole movie and screw everyone out of a paycheck for some stupid ass reason. And there's a few other bullshit reasons that people are like,
the purist.
Yeah. Which is dumb because the purists are bitching about the cartoon versus this, which the cartoon was unpure to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the first. I mean, the first Mulan video came out long before. Mulan first ever movie. Nope. No. There was one that actually was in China. Fuck. I'll need to look it up. So, I mean, because the actual Mulan, person was from 6th century China. So she's been around for a long freaking time. Liz says, LOL, you should have seen the looks when I tried to tell people in Asian American studies that Mulan was real. Yes, she was an absolute real badass female who was in the, Chinese army, which is mind-boggling because, if you know anything about Chinese culture, it's very a man's world, and women were killed for being women, which is horrifying. But, she proved in that kind of environment her absolute prowess for being a total badass and, maintain that. And she did get to be, part of, the palace guard. She died with honors. She's a total badass woman. So, yeah, she's the original. This is another remake amongst many. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, stop comparing this to the freaking cartoon, you dipshits.
Did you hear about China is putting out on YouTube Matchless Mulan?
Matchless Mulan? What is that?
Yeah, look it up. It's supposedly a sequel to this movie that's coming out now. There's a few. It seems to be called
Matchless Mulan 2020.
It's a gritty sequel story to the beloved tale that leans into the honor and violence inherent in the original legend.
Oh my. Alright. 1 hour 30 minutes. Came out May 7th in China. Wait, so the sequel to the movie that just came out already came out? The Chinese version sequel of it?
I think they're talking about the original legend. So, like...
All right, storyline. Story time! During the Northern Wei dynasty, the Roran army invaded the border, and the country called up military residents to go out to battle. Performed the duty for her elder father, while Mulan disguised herself as a man and came to Qingping Kang. Originally, she wanted to perform the duty for her father, blah, 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 while Mulan fought the enemy bravely, blah, 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 celebrated joyously, blah, blah, blah. Few soldiers defending Changping Quan, latest plot cost of their lives. Okay, yeah, so it's not a sequel. It's the Chinese version of it.
For free.
But for free.
On YouTube.
Yes. Liz says, yeah, so many people didn't know that at all. Yeah, you're not alone. Everyone's like, Mulan was the first cartoon from Disney that was amazing. No, it's not the first. You shut up. Little whiny bitches. So yeah, but it's an absolutely fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. You, like JP said, there are nods to the cartoon. I mean, they're both Disney movies, so that was cool. But the the fighting aspects of it, the battle scenes, the acting, it was a really well-rounded good movie. And I'm glad I paid the money for it.
Just like the opening village reminded me of like the opening like courtyard of Kung Fu Hustle.
That's why you referenced that, and that makes exact or total freaking sense.
I'm just like, okay, I like it.
Yeah, which I mean, that was that kind of standard building back in the era, the protected, living quarters. So, but yeah, so absolutely fantastic movie. You guys should check it out. Next, Bill and Ted, dude, it's totally out. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't. I totally spaced on it.
You fudger! Get over to Tara's and watch it, or have Tara come over and just log in, then you guys can watch it. If Bill doesn't want to. But yes. So Bill and Ted came out. It is as wonderfully, awfully great as I wanted it to be. So, if you guys have watched the original Bill and Ted's, you grew up with them. You know, it's one of those movies that you watch it and you're like, ooh. Oh, no, I'm embarrassed for myself. Oh, that's good. It's a dated film, and it's definitely that nerd quality 90s movie. And what makes me so happy about the new Bill and Ted Face the Music is that feeling is there still. It's still a corn dog 90s movie, and it made me so happy. Now, and you could rent it for $20, which is super cheap, considering if it was in theaters, you would have spent more. Or you can buy it for $25, which is what I did. And I'm glad about it. I don't feel like I wasted my money. So it was a excellent choice. Most excellent. So, yeah. But fantastic way to kind of carry on with the Wild Stallions and their fantastic song that saved the universe. So, yes, go see it. If it's in theaters near you, and you can do that safely, or rent or own it and stream it to yourself, because yes, so good. Word. Last bit. Tenet. Whoa. So, if you've seen Memento, and you were confused by Memento, and you still liked Memento, you're on par for Tenet already.
Yes.
So Tenet, a fantastic time travel movie. Wow.
I watched YouTube videos trying to explain it to me. I'm like, okay.
So.
But this. but how do you explain this?
Yes.
And I was like, oh.
So there's a whole slew of stuff you could go back and research this movie, because it's one of those movies. Do not peel your eyes away from the screen. Do not leave to go pee. Do not take your eyes away. Do not look, be like, what's going on? Leave them alone, because if you talk to them, they're going to get lost.
And you'll get lost because you had missed a part that happened just for a second.
It's so imperative to keep your eyes on this movie. Don't go with kids. It's not going to be worth the time. I promise you now.
We saw it in a private theater. That was the most... Maybe that's how I'm going to see movies from now on.
It was great. So our bosses at work did the movie theater rent out. So it Cinemark's doing this thing where if you go you can go during 2 times. It's 150 or 175 depending on, busy hours. But you rent it out. You can have up to 20 people, and they can watch the movie. How awesome is that? And we did it, and we went. It was only 10 people there, but you know what's fantastic? No one talked. There were no crying babies. I didn't have to sigh about the people I'm sitting with once. I didn't have to stand up and almost get in a physical altercation with some asshole because they can't control their mouth. It's wonderful. But, yeah. So, back to Tenet. Fantastic movie. So, it's got a lot of that time travel back and forth, back and forth. It's not linear. So, and that's kind of one of those things that's why I suggest you really focus on it. It's
watch it twice.
Yeah, and that's what I did. It's like, so I got to see it once with Hannah and her company. They did the same thing. And then I got to see it the second time with my company. And it was just, it's even better the second time and worth it because you know the end, you know what's coming, so you're seeing the middle stuff from before, and you're actually catching more of the genius of the movie. So I was very happy with it. I'm very excited. And honestly, if I had spent the money twice, it has still been worth it. So, yeah. If you guys are near a theater that's doing the COVID safe viewing, you can do stuff like that. Or if they end up doing the streaming, I suggest you pick it up and check it out. Watch it one day, sleep on it, watch it in like another day or two. Or the next day, whatever. It's fantastic. Excellent acting. And yes, we are still alive. Or we're still alive, but we're almost unlive. We're doing the beer thing, and then we all done. So yeah, but if you guys haven't a chance to go watch Tenet, absolutely fantastic movie. Go see Bill and Ted. Go see Mulan. So much good stuff right now that's working its best to try to cancel out the bullshit of 2020. So yeah. But coming up, our last segment, the craft brew.
In review.
Ooh. What have we been drinking, Mr. Pizzle?
Tonight we've been drinking the Peanut Butter Milk Stout Nitro from Belching Beaver Brewing.
Yeah, this one. So, this is a wonderfully fantastic beer from some wonderfully fantastic fans. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. You have no idea. It's one of those things, too. It's like getting a beer that someone else was like, I think you'll like this. It somehow means a little more to me because you've listened to the show. Yeah, you've listened to the show. You're starting to learn our palates, so you're paying attention. And then you send us stuff like this. Oh my God, so good. So, yeah. But thank you very much. The beer itself is delicious. Mm-hmm. So it has a nice overall coffee, chocolate, peanut butter flavor. There is an underlying.
And since it's a nitro, there's no carbonation.
Yes.
Hardly at all.
The underlying is just a little bit of hops. Not a lot. It's like just enough to kind of help carry the flavor. And it's good.
Yes, it's a smooth drinker.
It is. It's a creamy, fantastic milk nitro stout, and you guys should check this out. Belching Beaver is already a fantastic beer. And it's one that is worthwhile to search out and find. So this one, check it out, because for me, this is a 5. This is fantastic. This is a solid
5 as well from me.
Like, I wish I had a second one, so I'd wake up in the morning and have some, like, eggs and waffles with a small side of grits and a fucking peanut butter milk stout. And I don't drink beer in the morning. But, man, I want this. So good. So, yeah. That's definitely a 5. Like I said, for the Belching Beaver Brewery's peanut butter milk stout. Fantastic. But yes, so if you guys are wondering why we're scoring our beers, that's because we put them on
Why?
Untapped. Why? So yeah, Untapped. What is that? That's the website and app where you can score your beers, share your thoughts with others, and get great suggestions on beers. They don't sponsor us. I wish they did. But in all fairness, we still use them because they're absolutely fantastic. So go check them out. Untapped, that's UNTAPPD. We are on there at SLYK Radio. JP's on there as
Jay Pislatron.
Shell's on there, Shell Shock Cosplay. So, yes. But, wunderbar. Good stuff. Check there out. Follow us at SLYK Radio on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, where we share all kinds of stuff throughout the week between memes and movie news and comic news and whatever nerd stuff you want to know about. We try to keep it simple. We try to keep it safe. And we try to take the whole article we share and put the important part right on the top. Because no one likes to read articles anymore. I'm sorry.
No.
I love you, comicbooks.com, but all I do is go there and
God.
scan. I just scan for the information, then I'm done.
Lately, I've been going there and it says unsafe. I was like, guess I'm not going to comicbook.com anymore.
Yeah. So, but yes. So, fantastic. Yeah. We'll give you all the information we can. It's fantastic. We're fantastic. We're wonderful, but we're not as wonderful as you guys who keep joining us every week to come chat with us. So, thank you. But anyways, thanks for listening. Don't forget we put out new episodes Thursdays, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, right here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, all at SLYK Radio.
And when you see us roll through your feeds, make sure to finger back to that subscribe button,
And
smash them likes, and become one of our sly knights.
I got ahead of myself. And so, like, is not responsible for anything.
So, it's produced by Slick Solutions somewhere in Colorado.
And Flick Radio's completely weightless.
Like your opinion.
Just kidding.
We care.
But your government doesn't. But that butt does.
Don't you forget it.
So, love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Do good, be safe, and enjoy being a nerd. It's good shit. Yeah. So, do good, be good, love you. Bye-bye. Oh,
Bye, guys.
Ah! Gauge your beers. I'm trying to save just a little bit for Derek. Ghost Bear.